YouTube, welcome back to Ladylike Opinions. This review is going to be Queen Sugar season 6 episode 3, You Would Come Back Different. Okay, so the episode starts off with them welcoming Prosper back home, and Billy tells him within a few weeks of physical therapy that he will be as good as new. And he goes around and hugs everyone, and they give him some encouraging words or whatever. But Prosper got his mind on Envy's pecan pie. Pecan, whatever. And he said, even though he can't see their faces behind the mask, he feels the love. So Charlie walks over to Billy because she sees Billy looking some type of way. And she says, this can't be easy for either of you because it's stepping into new roles. And Billy says that he is so open with the Bordelon family. And Charlie was like, when you was in Chicago, that's all that he talked about. Where's you? And she was like, and when I'm with him, all he talk about is the Bordelons, you guys or whatever. So Charlie says that there is love on both sides of the equation, and to look at it is a second chance to make things right between them and to make it what they want it to be. So Nova tells Prosper how happy she is to see him, and he is happy he was one of the lucky ones to come out on the other side of, basically police brutality. And so now we're over at Envy's diner, and Hollywood jumps up behind her and hugs her, and she's fixing this big old box with food, and he asked her, was the box for his grand opening? And she said, nah, it was for a customer. But we all know that food is for what her name, Celine at the hall. Celine and her son at the hotel. So she tells him to go pick up the Reynolds. I guess she was trying to distract him, because as Hollywood sneaks back in, I guess he was coming back in to get something, he sees Envy go in the register, and she takes some money out or whatever, and she puts the money in the food box, and Hollywood is looking like, what's going on here or whatever. But I don't understand why she just don't tell him, because I'm pretty sure he would understand or whatever. I'm pretty sure she got a reason, but I just don't understand why she didn't tell Hollywood of all people or whatever. So Ralph Angel is on the phone, and he finds out that some of his cane hauls is a bust. So Charlie, basically walks up to him and, asks him, is he okay? And he asks her what was up with the aberrations, and some of them ain't gonna make it if the remedy checks don't come in soon. So she tells him, if he need anything, basically she got him. But he cut her off and say that it's deeper than that, and that they wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for the USDA. So Billy is taking Prosper's place at this meeting. She's going to be speaking on his behalf, because they was at the meeting when Charlie and Ralph Angel was talking. And Nova says, don't let her fool you. She can't be trusted. And Ralph Angel said, I'm not going to get in between y'all little beef. And I said, that's right, Ralph Angel. Stay out of women's business now. Don't be a Peter. So they walk into the meeting, and the sheriff is standing there. And Charlie asks, what are you doing here? And so he was said he got a call from concerned citizens, and he was at the meeting because it's like it was the only meeting for only black farmers, and he should be able to attend because of the tax dollars that he pays. And of course he's being a butthole, but go and blame this on Nova, because it's her fault for trying to, I'm not saying that she wasn't right, but trying to defund the police. But then you can't defund the police and then call the police for help. Only Nova. So Ralph Angel said that this all feels like a setup, and I agree. And so Hollywood catches Vi putting the food in the trunk of her car, and he was like, what is going on? So she looks like a deer caught in headlights. So she takes him over to the hotel and she let him meet Celine and her son. I don't know why she didn't do that in the first place, but you know, Celine introduces herself and she introduces her son Gabriel. And right away, Hollywood is smitten with Gabriel. And Gabriel asks Hollywood if he is famous, I guess because of his name. And he said, yeah, I'm famous at tic-tac-toe. So he go in and play tic-tac-toe with Gabriel while Vi and Celine can talk. So Celine tells Vi that, you know, this is her first time she has seen Gabriel smile. And Vi tells her that he will smile again when she starts smiling again, which was, you know, stellar for her to say that. And she tells her how hard things had got during COVID and how her husband took his frustrations out on her. And she thought, you know, she was like, I could take it, him being mad at me, or taking, you know, I could take the beatings, the black eyes and all that. But when he started coming after my son, I had to get out of there. And then Vi tells her, you know, that she had the courage because she got out and she is now safe, and now she has, you know, a beautiful testimony. And so over at the little segregated farmers meeting, because you got white people on the right side and you got black people on the left side or whatever, and so one farmer stands up and asks when would they get their checks. And the man says that there has been unexpected delays, and Ralph Angel says that they have been jacked around long enough. It's time for them to pay up. And they all chant, pay up. And then a white man jumps up. I ain't mean to say white, but you know, I don't know his name. He jumps up, and I think this is the same white man that was in that red truck I told you about in the last episode. The first episode. I think this was the white man that, you know, had the red pickup truck with the Confederate flag on it. And he says that first we got to be black to get a vaccine. And now this is where is our special fund. Charlie said this fund was set up to cover generational discrimination. And he said, seems like reparations. And that's when Noah finally want to chime in and say, this isn't reparations. Reparations will be paying back the $5.9 trillion our ancestors and their descendants are owed. Leave it to know them statistics, baby. The speaker says that all claims have been investigated and it takes time. And Billy chimes in and gives this case. I forgot what case it was. And, you know, says that it's a pattern with discrimination. It's clear there's no need to drag this out and pay the farmers what they are owed. If not, they would take it to court and get immediate relief. Well, I think Billy done messed it up because, oh boy, say I'll see y'all in 6 weeks. Be over. So I think Billy, hopefully she didn't, but you know. So now, Vi and Hollywood are coming down the stairs from the hotel when Hollywood asked Vi why she didn't tell him. And he said, what if, you know, her husband would have showed up and I didn't know where you was. And she said that that's why I didn't tell you, because she didn't want to hear him fuss at her for always trying to help people. And he was like, so you think of me as a broken record. You think I'm always fussing at you or whatever. And she tells him that they are the same, because the real spot is him taking care of everybody else, but not himself. And he walks away. So you see Michael is walking and drinking. And I'm hoping that's not alcohol that Michael has in it. You know, I'm hoping there's a drink. But anyway, Charlie calls him and asks him not to forget about the dinner, because they're having a dinner, I guess, to... So yeah, Charlie calls and, you know, she's telling him about the dinner that they're having, you know, well, he knows about the dinner, telling him not to be late for the dinner that they're having for Davis, Michael daddy. And she asks him if he wants to talk about them getting back together. And he tells her he just wants her to be happy, because he never wants her to be or feel the way he saw her once before or whatever. He said he's, you know, he's happy, but he tells her he's happy, but he doesn't want him to hurt her ever again. And, you know, Charlie is shocked because she thought he would be happy because that's something he always wanted, was them to get back together. But Charlie, he was a kid then. Well, he wasn't a kid. He was in high school, but he's in college now. I don't think he give a damn about that or whatever. But, Charlie, forgets that Michael was the one that watched her cry and grow through all the hurt and embarrassment that Davis caused her. And, you know, Michael was done with his daddy for a while after all that too. And then here come, he had a daughter in the middle of that or whatever. So Davis says that Michael won't be the only one with reservations, and some of the family, which, you know, with the girl Charlie's family, won't be happy to see them together. But David said he is ready to plead his case with the Bordelons. And I can't wait to see how this gonna turn out with Aunt Vi. Basically with Aunt Vi. I don't think nobody else. So Nova runs into Dominique. And they had this little funny banter about, you know, the real spot. And she tells him to go there and get the scoop. And he says, if it's a spot for men, then he can't do that. They laugh and he walk away. So Nova opens up this envelope that was outside of her house, and it's a picture of her with a red target around her head. Ain't no telling who got it out for Nova, because Nova done pissed a lot of people off, but I'm pretty sure it's the police or whatever. So over at Aunt Vi's, they're sitting at the table waiting for Davis to come in, and Ralph Angel says that he never thought he would see Davis back in the house. And Charlie was like, life is about changes, and Davis has changed. And if I say some men never realize what they have until it's gone, and baby, I know that's right. But anyway, Ralph says some never had a chance to make mistakes. I think that was a dig at Aunt Vi, because the way she looked at him told it all. So Hollywood is excited that the hookup has come back, and he says how, you know, Ernest, you know, their dad, well, Nova, Ralph Angel, and Charlie's dad, used to brag about, you know, his son-in-law, the big basketball player, and how him and Prosper used to sit front courtside at the, you know, NBA games or whatever. And Charlie says that she may not can get him court-size ticket, but how about, you know, second row? And Hollywood said beggars can't be choosers. I'm fine with it. And in walks Davis and Michael. Dun dun dun. Ralph Angel daps him up, and they have a moment, you know, and Hollywood was happy to see him. Everybody speaks and are happy. But here we go with Aunt Vi. And she took it better than I expected. So at the dinner, Davis, you know, apologized to everyone. You know, he's sorry for breaking their trust, and he was happy they were giving him a second chance. And they've always been a family to him, because he really didn't have much family. So, you know, Hollywood says this emotional prayer about all the loss that they have endured and to hold tight to each other. So now we're over at the real spot, and Hollywood tells Vi how happy he is, and she says, you know, she's headed over to the ladies' night. And Ralph Angel introduces Hollywood to his people, that's what he called it. And when he asks where he know them people from, he says prison. And Ralph has this, Hollywood had this funny look on his face, because I think Hollywood's like, why you still hanging with, you know, prison friends or whatever? And Michael FaceTime Prosper, and had Prosper, you know, sharing to the moment of them at the grand opening of the real spot or whatever. And so Hollywood tells them, you know, we can basically talk about anything here, you know, nothing is, you know, off limits, and it, whatever talked about here will stay here. So over the ladies' night, they talk about their men's, like my mama say. Charlie says it's good to have things out in the open. And Nova asked her if she told her political people, and she said it ain't their business. So Darla asked Charlie, was she in love? And she said, you know, she's getting there. And Vi says, you are a public figure, and folks gonna have their opinions. So now Hollywood tries to get Michael to speak first. And Michael said he would if he can get some of that yak. Hennessy me, please. Hollywood say, no, you'll just be fine with this cold drink. Or whatever. So this is like the second or third time Michael done tried to get some alcohol. Let me find out. Y'all trying to turn Michael into one of them coping alcoholics. Don't do it. So Darla says that she feels this is her second chance and she doesn't want to mess things up. She says she can't shake this feeling that something, you know, something is coming and she doesn't like it. And Rambai, you know, basically reassures her and tells her to trust and joy. And, you know, everything will be all right. So Hollywood tells them that he met this kid named Gabriel at the hotel, and he reminded him of him and his mama, and how he used to clean his mama, how Gabriel was clinging to, you know, Celine. And I hope that Celine's husband is not in this bar and Hollywood just running his mouth. So that may be why Aunt Vi didn't say nothing, because I want to know who is Celine's husband. So he tells them about going through his mama things and how this hat brought back old memories for when his mama was with this white saleswoman that wouldn't let her try on the hat in the store because she was black. He said his mama was everything to him, but to that woman, she was nothing. And I was like, dang. So Nova just out of nowhere says that some people are just bad people, and Billy is one of them. Like, damn. What the hell Billy do? So hopefully we get it by the end of this. Darla says that Ralph Angel used to always talk about Billy back in the day, and she thought Billy was like a third sister. And Nova says, you know, he was too young. He wouldn't know. And Charlie says, y'all were inseparable. You know, what happened? And she was like, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay, Maya Angelou Nova. So she says that Billy caused a lot of damage for her, and Vi says for her too. Damn, Billy, you just a beer buddy. So Aunt Vi says there was rumors going around about Billy sleeping with Jimmy Dale, which is Aunt Vi's abusive ex-husband. And so she was like, Jimmy Dale always cheated on her, but with Billy, that kind of like broke her down because she was like family to them. Billy, let me find out you was a little Tatiana girl. What you was back there doing? So Noah says some things and some people should remain in your past. Girl, shut up, cause the way you used to do your family till all they business, I don't even see how they still fool with you. But whatever. So Ralph Angel prison friend approaches him and tells him he has ways for him to make some cash. And so he doesn't fall for it. Then he tells him, you know, no, I'm not, because he told him that they was gonna get some technology equipment, I think, from one of the families that Charlie had beef with, where the whole Bordelon family had beef with. I don't know why I can't remember their name, but you know, he heard the name, he was like, nah dog, I can't do that or whatever. But he ends up giving Ralph Angel some money and tells him that this is for the baby. And Ralph Angel didn't want to take it, but he made him take it. So Ralph Angel and Darla meet with this doula, and they like her and they want her to be there to deliver the baby. And she tells them that they'll be great parents. And I'm like, lady, they already got one son, but whatever. So she asked them, has they decided on a midwife? And you know, and they was like, midwife? I thought, you know, you was gonna do a lot. She was like, no, I'm just here for you. The midwife is the one that's medically certified to deliver the baby. And so Nova says, I mean, not Nova, Darla was like, you know, she thinks this is going to be expensive, so they should just have the baby at the hospital. And of course, Ralph Angel wants to give her everything that she desires and wants. So he's going to keep going in debt trying to give her everything that she wants. And like she tells him, we need to swallow our pride or your pride and ask for help. And he says, give me time to figure it out. So security flies past Michael, and he just automatically have this panic attack. And his friend like coaches him through the breathing through the panic attack or whatever. Michael need to be in therapy because he's obviously triggered about what happened with Prosper, triggered what happened with him years past or whatever. So Selene and her son are all out in the open at Aunt Vi's diner. In Hollywood, you know, it's like bonding with Gabriel, and Aunt Vi is looking, and it seemed like Hollywood may want a son because he is bonding with Gabriel, or maybe want a child in general because he is bonding with Gabriel very good or whatever. So Nova comes over to Prosper house to give him some food, some leftovers that Aunt Vi had for him. And Billy tells her that he is sleeping, and Nova asks her to give it to him. And she tries to walk away, but Billy says, this is childish, that they don't talk about things when Nova tells her she can start with giving her an apology. So Billy says, we were kids and it was an accident. Nova's like, what you said to my father damaged my relationship for the rest of my life. And Billy says she don't remember all the details, but Nova hurt her too. And this is when it got good. Nova tells Billy, you told my father you were worried about my soul because I might be gay. So you basically outed me. So she tells Billy that she was vile. And Billy said, well, what is vile is you abandoning your best friend when she needed you the most. She talking about her and Jimmy Dale. And Nova said, oh, so the rumors were true. Billy said, you are so high and mighty. You walk around here speaking for justice, for women's right, all this justice for everybody. She said, I was 18 years old. Jimmy Dale was way over 30 telling people that I was good in bed, and no one came to her aid. She says the same thing you was trying to tell. She said the same thing she was trying to tell Violet, her father, and Nova, and no one listened. So apparently Jimmy Dale must have raped Billy, and she tried to tell people, and no one believed her because Jimmy Dale was going around saying that he slept with her. It's like, why would a 30-something-year-old man go around telling people he slept with an 18-year-old girl? But that how it be going. So she said she hauled tail out of town. First thing smoking. But she stopped to talk to Nova's father, Ernest. And she said he listened to her. He believed her when her own father did not. She said that made her so sad and mad. She didn't want Nova to have what she didn't. So she told Ernest that Nova liked girls. Billy said she left town and never looked back. So I understand the resentment she has towards Aunt Vi, Nova, and her daddy. So Davis and Charlie are having them a little backyard picnic with some wine while looking at the stars, and they look so happy. And Davis asks her, would she give up politics, you know, to come stay with him in LA with the coaching job? And she says she's never giving up anything ever again because she wants it all. She wants it all. She wants the power and everything. David said he doesn't want to lean on Charlie to retain, you know, his image. He doesn't care about his image, but of course, you know, Charlie's all about image. She cares about it. And he tells her he only cares about how she see him, not about the world. He asks her, would she ever consider moving to LA? He asked her that again, but she said her life is in St. Joe. And she tells him to leave the image stuff to her. So they take this picture, post it on both of their Instagrams. You know it's official when you post on Instagram. Now that's something I never do. I never did in the beginning, but I never, like, you gonna have to be around me or see me to see who I'm talking to. Because you'll never know, because I like to keep secrets. Not like secrets, but I like to keep my life private. But she asked him to pick her up, and he does, and he kisses her and carry her in the house. Okay, Davis. Charlie Davis and that little black love or whatever. Well, that was Queen Sugar. That was the end of the episode. I hope you liked this video. Share and subscribe. See you later. Bye.